Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to be talking about protecting what most shops' biggest investment is, and that's their table saw. Let's dive right in. Okay, so let's talk about protecting what is most people's biggest investment in their shop. That's their table saw. Now, we're not talking about the inner workings here. We're talking about the actual cast iron surface. Now, this is very important because if you're going to do any type of woodworking over the course of you owning a table saw, there's going to be some imperfections, some blemishes, some marks, some rust is really the main thing. A lot of times, if you have a shop like I did years ago in a two-car garage, no climate control, no nothing like that, man, you're going to deal with a lot of problems with your table saw. There's no doubt. Especially being here in Florida, as you can tell by the thumbnail, surface rust was an issue. So I've always, buffed it with like a really high grade sandpaper and just put paste wax on it like every 3 weeks to a month. That's just what I used to do. Never really showed that to you, but it was just kind of the monthly maintenance I had to do. Now, in this video, well, you may have seen a new product on the market called Carbon Method. Now, they reached out and they said, hey, you being a Florida man, right? Why don't you give it a go? And I'm going to show you in this video just how easy it is to apply. And then I'm going to ask you to hang in there with me, right? Subscribe to the channel, see how it goes. But from what I can tell, it is slicker than you know what. Talk about foreshadowing, just wait, okay? I've already done it and I'm gonna show you the process now. It's pretty awesome, let's go. Okay, hold on. Before we get into this, do you guys remember when I first started this channel, what table saw I had? If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you've recognized this. This is a granite top table saw from Rigid. I think they only released it for about a year. There were some issues with it chipping and breaking and cracking because workshops are a dangerous place. You might drop some things on it, but you never had to worry about rust. So when I ended up getting this new saw stop, I was actually pretty shocked at just how much maintenance it took. So just a little food for thought. All right, let's go. All right, so a quick before. Now, after I got rid of the surface rust when it was in my unclimatized garage, this is kind of the state it's been in since it's been in my shop with HVAC installed. I still get these stains, I still get some blemishes, and it's really not in the best shape. You can actually run your hand over this left part of the saw and actually feel some ridges or some whatever. Anyway, we're gonna clean this up. We're gonna use some of these abrasive pads. Carbon Method, again, offers these, and they're a little bit thicker than the ones you would find, say, at Lowe's or Home Depot from the other brands. And here's a method you can use. You can use WD-40, but they also offer this stuff called Carbon Cleanse. It's meant to really take off all the impurities off the saw before you attach the carbon coat. But I'm going to try this with the sander, see how it goes. So I basically just cut a square off the pad and attached it to the Velcro, attached to the sander. We're just going to see how this goes. I'm basically just going to make some passes left and right, and then run some passes more perpendicular to those. Looks like it's doing a pretty good job. So I've gone ahead and sanded the entire thing down with that medium to fine grit abrasive pad, and here are the results. You can see the before here, pretty nasty, and the after, much, much, much better. But I will explain this. You can kind of see, to be honest here, you can kind of see that wispy little ghost of a stain there, just barely. Now I could have gone from a very low grit to a very high grit and done this for a few hours, but honestly, I'm good with where this is. Everything is super smooth, and let's continue. Now, it's imperative that your tabletop is impeccably clean. So I'm using some denatured alcohol. You could use some isopropyl or mineral spirits, whatever you want. Just make sure you wipe it down completely until a shop towel runs clean. You don't want any black or residue coming off that shop towel. Once you do that, you're good to go. Like I said, before and after, and this is without putting any type of carbon protection on it whatsoever. And speaking of which, this is what I'm going to be using. This is the Carbon Method's Carbon Coat and Carbon Glide. We first apply the carbon coat, and this is how we do it. You want to shake it up prior to use, and you also want to shake it every time you're going to put it on the applicator. All you do is put on 2 parallel lines. Don't be stingy with it. Go ahead and get it pretty soaked, like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to wipe it across one section of the table saw at a time. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of drawing a box. That bottom was the initial pass. We're going to call that the well line. That's going to have most of the carbon coat in it, so we're going to drag it through the saw, bringing the carbon coat all the way to the top. Once we're finished on this pass, we're going to go back and forth in a perpendicular motion, and then we're going to let that sit for 60 seconds. Next, we're going to take the applicator pad, we're going to angle it at a 45 degree, and we're going to level off the surface. getting a nice even layer of that carbon coat, and then we wait another 60 seconds. At this point, you're going to take a microfiber towel and you're going to buff it in a circular motion. You're going to feel a little resistance, and that's okay. But once it starts to let up, it feels good, nice and slick, you're done. You can repeat this process again over the next couple of panels. You want to work in small areas when you're first starting this out. And you're going to see later in the video, I was able to do all 3 panels at once, but I had to get my feet wet here and actually figure out how to do this correctly. And look at the shine on this carbon coat. You can see I'm doing 2 panels at once. It's so shiny that you can actually read the box in the background. Pretty crazy. Again, we're going to tip that applicator to 45, and we're going to go ahead and level the surface off. Once it's nice and level, again, you're going to take your microfiber towel. Go ahead and use a new area if you want to. That's why there's, you fold it in 4, so you got 4 different sections that you can buff this thing out. And again, a little resistance is good, but once it's super slick, you're good to go, and that is installing your first coat of carbon coat. The wing or extension arm from your table saw, even though it's not made of cast iron, can also still get the same application. Basically repeat the process like you've seen before in this video, and this surface will also be super slick, creating a safer experience for your table saw. All right, so that is the first of 4 coats. You got to wait 60 minutes after you do that whole application. And honestly, it only took roughly about 5 or 6 minutes to do the whole saw, because you're only waiting 60 to 90 seconds between applications and leveling and buffing. So here's the deal. Carbon Method actually, well, I used their product for ceramic coating a tabletop first. In this video here, where I made finally a dining table after 3 years from not really having one, we put that ceramic coating on this table, and it is still holding up unbelievably great. I never really thought that there was a ceramic coating for wood, but yeah, there is. The same stuff you would similarly put on your car to protect it from road grime and all kinds of stuff can go on your table, and if you got kids or even if you don't, it makes it super slick to not only eat from, but to also fold laundry on. All kidding aside, let's go ahead and show you the application in its entirety from one side of the table saw all the way to the next in one take. Let's do it. So are you intrigued by this? Well, I know I was, and definitely I'm going to tell you guys, this process, pretty simple, takes about a day to do because you got some curing time, but after 24 hours, this saw is so slick. I'm going to give you an example of this in a second, and you're not going to believe it, but I got a coupon code down below in the description. It's also in the pinned comment. If you want to check this out, use my coupon code, save yourself 10%, but only until February 28th. Thanks for the support, guys. Thanks for checking this out, but don't leave yet because you got to see just how slick this stuff is, and then check the links below. So you can see the more practice you get with this, the more efficient you become, and you can do the entire surface in one fell swoop, where basically you apply, you level, and you buff each panel in succession, and the process goes pretty quick. So to further reduce the friction, you're going to finish it up with some Carbon Glide. You basically spray it on, apply it with a shop towel, and then buff it off with a microfiber cloth. And now check this out, how slick this sucker is. But from what I can tell, it is slicker than you know what, okay? Okay, I'm gonna show you something crazy. I've been making these coasters on the laser. This is neither here nor there. The reason I'm showing you this is this back piece is this right here, okay? I don't sand these, I just pull them right off the laser. But it's like, this is crazy. It's like air hockey, but without the air, okay? Look at this. This is crazy. There is almost, the friction is almost negligible. Let's see if it'll go across. Are you kidding me? Honestly, I'm here in Florida and I will keep you updated. Like I said, subscribe to the channel and see the updates over the next few months, maybe even years or so. As far as I can tell, this is the slickest and the prettiest this table saw has been since day one of me owning it. So if you want to check this whole system out, check it out down below. Everything is down there. The Carbon Method is a family-owned business. They are just getting started really in this space. And I would really appreciate it. And helping my sponsors helps me, and it also will help you because you'll get fabulous results on your cutting surfaces. And honestly, it just protects your investment. It really is a wise decision. So check them out. Check the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you on that next one. Take care.